This tutorial is going to talk about how to add a gradient to the text, to your font, instead of the background. So the first thing you need to do is highlight your word or your masthead. So instead of selecting the frame that it's in, you're selecting or highlighting the word, which is important so the gradient's on the word instead of the background. Now that I have the word highlighted, I can add the gradient. So I'm going to go to the left tool panel on the left side over here and select the square with the gradient in it. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to double click, and then this little gradient box is going to pop up. And as soon as I click on it, it's going to add the gradient to my word here. So I have the gradient going from the white to the black. However, if I want to change the color of that, I'm going to hit the color on the right over here. And I'm going to go back to my gradient, double click on the color I want to change. So right now I want to change the black to a different color. And you'll notice the color stays black and white over here. So it's not giving me multiple options. So to fix that, I'm going to click on this little drop down panel with these lines, horizontal lines. I'm going to click on that and go to RGB. And then I have more colors I can choose from. So I'm changing my black color right now to maybe a blue. And then if I want to change the white color, I'm going to do the same thing, double click on that, and then find the color that I want. So maybe a light blue for that. So I'm going to click my selection tool to click off of my words. You can see what it looks like. So now I have a gradient going from that light blue to the darker blue. Instead of the gradient going from the left to the right, if I wanted my gradient to go from the top to the bottom, I can do that by highlighting my word again. So I'm double clicking, highlighting it, then I'm going to double click on my gradient, and you'll notice this little plus sign that comes up. With this plus sign, you can change the direction of the gradient. So maybe I want it going from top to bottom or up and down. So I'm going to click at the top here and drag down for how far I want my colors to blend. And if I click back off of my word, you'll see it going from the top to the bottom. You can also, if you double click and highlight your word, change the type from linear to radial. So that means that the color, the gradient is coming from the middle going to the outside instead of going from top to bottom or left to right. So it can come out from the middle and radiate. So now if I click off of my word, you can see that again I have the radial gradient. You can also add to your word a stroke or an outline around it. So I'm going to highlight it again, and I'm going to go to stroke, which is on the far right. So stroke basically means just a border, and if I adjust the weight here, that adds the stroke or the border around it. If I want to change the color of my stroke, I can click right next to stroke here where it says color. And you'll notice right now I have the T that's filled in. If I flip those or click on this T with the outline, that gives me the option to change the color of my border or my outline. So I'll pick a purple color here and then click off of my text so you can see what it looks like.